A 95-pound German shepherd with eyes like storm clouds, teeth bared, lunging at the reinforced gate of his kennel. The sound of metal rattling echoes through the K9 training facility. 3 experienced handlers stand at a safe distance, exchanging worried glances. This dog was supposed to be a hero. Instead, he'd become impossible. His name was Rex. And after 6 months of failed training, countless incidents, and 1 near-tragic accident, the Riverside Police Department was about to make a heartbreaking decision. Rex would be put down in 48 hours. But they didn't know that a 7-year-old girl named Maya Henderson was about to walk into that facility and change everything. What she did next left everyone speechless. And by the end of this story, you'll understand why sometimes the most broken souls just need to find their perfect match. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this is a story you'll want to share with everyone you know. Trust me, you won't see this ending coming. Let's go back to the beginning. Rex arrived at the Riverside Police Department's K9 unit on a cold January morning. He was 2 years old, purebred, with an impressive lineage of police and military dogs. On paper, he was perfect. His genetics screamed elite. His physical condition was flawless. The department had paid $15,000 for him, expecting their next star. Officer Marcus Chen was assigned as Rex's handler. Marcus had 15 years of K9 experience. He'd trained 12 dogs successfully, including Duke, who'd helped recover 3 missing children and apprehended over 40 suspects. Marcus knew dogs, or so he thought. The first training session should have been simple. Basic commands, getting to know each other, building trust. Instead, Rex refused every command. When Marcus approached with a treat, Rex backed into the corner, his whole body tense, a low growl rumbling from his chest. When Marcus tried to attach a leash, Rex snapped, missing Marcus's hand by inches. "It's okay, buddy," Marcus said softly, backing away. "We'll take it slow." But slow didn't help. Week after week, Rex showed no improvement. He wouldn't eat when people were nearby. He destroyed everything in his kennel. During training exercises, he'd freeze up or explode with aggression. Other dogs sensed his instability and kept their distance. The department brought in Sarah Mitchell, a renowned animal behaviorist from Los Angeles. She'd rehabilitated dogs from fighting rings, abuse cases, dogs everyone else had given up on. She spent 3 days observing Rex. "Something happened to this dog," Sarah told the captain. "This isn't just poor socialization. This is trauma, deep trauma. He's terrified of people, but his training and genetics are telling him to fight that fear. It's creating this explosive combination." They tried everything. Different training methods, medication, isolation to reduce stress, gradual desensitization. Nothing worked. Then came the incident that sealed Rex's fate. During a routine training exercise, a young officer named Tame Rodriguez accidentally dropped a metal clipboard. The clang echoed across the training yard. Rex, who was being walked by Marcus on a reinforced leash, suddenly lost control. He lunged forward with such force that the leash snapped. He charged at Tommy, 80 pounds of pure panic and aggression. Tommy fell backward. Rex was on him in seconds. Marcus shouted commands. Other officers rushed forward. For 3 terrifying seconds, everyone thought they were about to witness a tragedy. But Rex stopped. His teeth were inches from Tommy's throat. The dog was shaking violently, his eyes wild, but he didn't bite. He just stood there, frozen, as if fighting an internal war between instinct and something else. Marcus managed to secure him with a catch-pole. Tommy was shaken but unharmed. That evening, Captain Rodriguez called a meeting. "I can't risk it," he said, his voice heavy. "What if next time he doesn't stop? What if it's a civilian, a child?" The decision was made. Rex would be euthanized in 48 hours. They'd tried everything. Some dogs, they decided, just couldn't be saved. Maya Henderson was 7 years old, with dark curly hair, usually pulled into 2 ponytails, and eyes that seemed to notice everything everyone else missed. She was special in ways that made her mother, Jennifer, both proud and worried. Maya had been diagnosed with autism when she was 3. She experienced the world differently. Loud noises overwhelmed her. Crowded places exhausted her. But she had this incredible gift. She could connect with animals in ways that seemed almost magical. While other kids at the park played together, Maya would sit quietly near the pond, and ducks would waddle right up to her. The neighbor's cat that hissed at everyone would curl up in her lap. Even the grumpy old dog at the corner store would wag his tail when she walked by. "She just understands them," Jennifer would tell people, and they understand her. Maya's father, David Henderson, was a detective at the Riverside Police Department. He'd heard about Rex. The whole department had. Everyone felt terrible about what was going to happen, but they agreed there was no other choice. That Tuesday evening, David came home looking particularly sad. "Rough day, honey?" Jennifer asked, kissing his cheek. "There's this dog at the station," David said, sinking into the couch. "German Shepherd. Beautiful animal. But he's broken somehow. Tomorrow's his last day." Maya, who'd been drawing at the kitchen table, looked up. "The dog is scared," she said quietly. David blinked. "What, sweetheart?" "The dog you're talking about. He's not mean. He's scared." David exchanged glances with Jennifer. They'd learned not to dismiss Maya's intuitions. She'd once insisted their neighbor, Mr. Patterson, was feeling sick in his heart 2 days before he had a heart attack. "You might be right, Maya," David said gently. "But he's too dangerous. He almost hurt someone." Maya put down her crayon. "Can I meet him?" "Absolutely not," Jennifer said immediately. "David, tell her." But David saw something in his daughter's eyes, that look she got when she knew something the rest of them didn't. "I don't know, Jen," he said slowly. What if he attacks our daughter?" Jennifer's voice rose. "David, this dog has trained officers terrified." "I'll be safe, Mommy," Maya said. "I promise. I just want to help him not be scared anymore." After an hour of discussion, after Maya promised she'd stay behind a barrier, after David assured Jennifer he'd be right there the entire time, they made a decision that would change everything. Wednesday morning, Maya walked into the K9 facility holding her father's hand. The facility was quieter than usual that morning. Word had spread about what was happening at noon. Rex's execution. Some officers couldn't bear to be there. Marcus was in his office doing paperwork when David knocked. "Marcus, I know this is unusual," David said, "but my daughter wanted to see Rex, just for a few minutes, before—" Marcus looked down at Maya, who smiled softly at him. "David, I can't let a child near that dog. She won't be near him. Just let her see him. Through the gate. Please!" Something in David's voice made Marcus agree. They walked to the kennels. Rex was in the last one, isolated from the other dogs. As they approached, they could hear him pacing, the click of his nails on concrete. "Stay here," Marcus instructed, holding up his hand. "Don't get any closer than this barrier." Maya nodded. Then she saw him. Rex was at the back of his kennel, his body tense, his eyes fixed on them with that mixture of fear and aggression everyone had come to recognize. Most people who saw Rex felt intimidated. They saw the bared teeth, the powerful muscles, the unpredictable aggression. Maya saw something else entirely. She saw the way his ears kept flattening against his head, the way his tail was tucked so tight against his body, the trembling in his legs, the whites of his eyes showing. "He's so scared," she whispered. Then Maya did something no one expected. She sat down, right there on the concrete floor several feet from the kennel gate. She crossed her legs, placed her hands in her lap, and just sat. Quietly, not staring at Rex, not trying to call him or engage him. She just sat. "Maya, honey, we should probably—" David started. "Let her," Marcus said, his voice filled with curiosity. "Let's see what happens." Minutes passed. 5, then 10. Rex continued pacing, but his pattern changed. He'd pace to the front of the kennel, stop, look at Maya, then retreat to the back. Maya began humming, a soft, gentle tune. Not a song, really, just a melody. Rex's ears perked up. 15 minutes. 20. David's legs were getting tired, but he didn't move. Marcus stood like a statue, barely breathing. Then, at the 23-minute mark, something remarkable happened. Rex sat down. He was still at the back of the kennel, still tense, but he sat. His eyes never left Maya. Maya slowly reached into her pocket and pulled out something. A granola bar. She unwrapped it, broke off a tiny piece, and ate it. Then she broke off another piece and gently rolled it across the floor. Not toward Rex. Not at him. Just rolled it a few feet away, like she was barely paying attention to where it went. The piece stopped about halfway between the barrier and the kennel gate. Rex stared at it. Minutes ticked by. Then, moving so slowly he seemed to be fighting his own body, Rex stood up. 1 step, 2 steps. He reached the front of his kennel. His nose pushed through the chain link, sniffing the air. 3 more steps, and his paw touched the food. He ate it. Fast, defensive, ready to bolt. Maya broke off another piece. This time she rolled it a little closer to herself. The same process, the same careful approach. This continued for another 20 minutes, each piece of granola slightly closer. Each time, Rex needed a little less time to decide to approach. Finally, the last piece was just on the other side of the barrier where Maya sat. Rex walked all the way out of his kennel. Marcus tensed, his hand moving to his radio. But Rex didn't charge, didn't lunge. He walked, slow and uncertain, to where the food lay. He ate it. Then he looked at Maya. They were separated by just the metal barrier now, 3 feet apart. Maya, still humming her gentle melody, slowly extended her hand. Palm down, fingers relaxed, not reaching toward Rex, just offering. "Maya, don't," David whispered. Rex looked at her hand, then at her face, then back at her hand. 30 seconds passed. Then Rex, this dog that had terrified trained professionals, that had been deemed too dangerous to live, leaned forward and touched his nose to Maya's fingers. Maya smiled. "Hi, friend," she whispered. "It's okay now. You're safe." Captain Rodriguez received an urgent call in his office. "Sir, you need to get down to the kennels, now." He arrived to find a crowd of officers standing in stunned silence. Through them, he saw something he couldn't quite process. Maya Henderson, sitting cross-legged on the floor. Rex, lying down on the other side of the barrier, his head resting on his paws. And the dog's eyes were closed. The untamable Rex was falling asleep in a child's presence. "How long has this been happening?" the captain asked. "About an hour," Marcus whispered. "Sir, I think we need to reconsider." "The order stands," Captain Rodriguez said, but his voice lacked conviction. "We can't risk—" "Captain," David spoke up. "With respect, sir, this dog isn't vicious. He's traumatized. Look at him. Really look at him." The captain did, and for the first time he saw what Maya had seen from the beginning. Fear, not rage. Fear. "Sarah," he called to the behaviorist who'd arrived after receiving an alert. "What's your professional opinion?" Sarah Mitchell had tears in her eyes. "In 20 years of doing this work, I've never seen anything like this. That little girl understood what we all missed. We were trying to train him, control him, dominate him. But he didn't need a handler. He needed to feel safe first. She gave him that. No demands, no force, just patience and understanding. The captain watched for another moment. "What are you suggesting?" "Give me 2 weeks," Sarah said. "With Maya's help, if her parents consent. Let me work with Rex using her approach. If there's no significant progress, then we do what needs to be done. But sir, this dog deserves a chance. A real chance." Captain Rodriguez looked at Maya. This small child who'd accomplished in an hour what his entire K9 unit couldn't in 6 months. "All right," he said. 2 weeks. What happened over the next 14 days would become legendary in the Riverside Police Department. Maya came to the facility every day after school. Her mother, Jennifer, who'd been terrified at first, became one of Rex's biggest advocates after seeing that first interaction. Sarah developed a completely new training protocol based on Maya's intuitive approach. No force, no dominance, just patience, consistency, and understanding. Maya would sit with Rex for an hour each day. Sometimes they'd just sit in silence. Sometimes she'd read him stories. Sometimes she'd tell him about her day at school. "Today, Billy Thompson said my drawing was weird," she told Rex one afternoon. "But I think weird is good. Being different is good. You're different too, Rex. But that makes you special." Rex, lying beside her now with only the barrier between them, lifted his head and looked at her with those storm cloud eyes that were beginning to clear. Slowly, Rex began to trust. First Marcus, who'd adopted Maya's calm, patient approach, then Sarah, then a few other officers. They discovered Rex's trigger. Loud, sudden noises. Someone had hurt him badly, they suspected, probably using some kind of metallic object. Every sharp sound brought back that trauma. But with time, with patience, with Maya's daily visits, Rex began to heal. On day 12, Sarah made a decision. She opened the barrier. "Maya, I'm going to let Rex choose," she said. "Don't call him. Don't reach for him. Just be yourself." The gate opened. Rex stood. Everyone held their breath. He walked through, past the barrier, and lay down right next to Maya, his body against hers. Maya wrapped her small arms around his neck. "Good boy, Rex," she whispered. "Such a good, brave boy." On day 14, the final test, the one that would determine Rex's fate. Marcus walked Rex into the training yard. 15 officers stood in a line. On command, Tame Rodriguez, the officer from the incident, dropped a metal clipboard. The clang echoed. Rex flinched, his muscles tensed. But he didn't bolt, didn't lunge. Instead, he looked at Marcus, then at Maya, who stood nearby. "It's okay, Rex," Maya said calmly. "You're safe." Rex sat. The officers erupted in applause. 6 months later, Rex graduated from the K9 training program, not as a patrol dog or an apprehension dog. His trauma made aggressive work inappropriate. Instead, Rex became something more important. He became the Riverside Police Department's first therapy and victim support dog. His job was to comfort scared children during interviews, to support victims of trauma, to visit schools and show kids that even the most frightened among us can heal. He was perfect for it, because Rex understood fear, he understood trauma, and he understood healing. Maya attended his graduation ceremony, wearing a special Junior K9 unit volunteer badge the department had made just for her. She was named an honorary member of the K9 unit, the youngest in department history. When Rex walked across that stage, when Captain Rodriguez placed the official vest on his back, Rex did something he'd never done before in front of a crowd. He wagged his tail. Then he walked directly to Maya, sat in front of her, and placed his paw on her knee. The gesture of a dog saying thank you to the little girl who saved his life. But here's the thing about this story that makes it truly beautiful. Maya will tell you she didn't save Rex. "Rex saved me," she says. "He helped me understand that being different is okay, that being scared is okay, that needing help is okay. He showed me that even when everyone else gives up on you, the right person can see who you really are. Today, Rex has helped 37 children through traumatic interviews. He's visited 12 schools, teaching thousands of kids about compassion, second chances, and understanding. He's become a symbol of hope in Riverside. And every single day, after his work is done, Marcus drives Rex to the Henderson home. Because every hero needs to go home to the person who believed in them first. Maya and Rex will sit in the backyard, her reading books, him lying beside her, both of them at peace. Both of them healing. Both of them teaching the world that sometimes the strongest connections happen between the most unlikely souls. The girl who sees differently, and the dog nobody could tame. Together, they proved that sometimes being broken isn't the end of the story. Sometimes it's just the beginning. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and share it with everyone you know. Maya and Rex's story reminds us that compassion, patience, and understanding can transform lives in ways we never expect. Subscribe to this channel for more incredible true stories about the unbreakable bonds between humans and animals. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And remember, the world needs more people like Maya. People who look at others with compassion instead of judgment. People who see the scared, hurting soul beneath the frightening exterior. Be that person. The world needs you. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep believing in second chances.